I was born in a political family. My late father was a politician. He was, those days, of course, a freedom fighter like many Unipists, under Wakaunda, Wakapwepwe, Mainza Chona, Grey Zulu, those eminent sons of this soil that we have lost. But at some time, my father also separated from UNIP and went their separate ways under UPP. They followed Wakapwepwe. You know, when Wakaunda was trying to get the nation united, he introduced what they termed as the one-party participatory democracy. That didn't sit very well. This was after the Choma Declaration. And people started pushing for multi-party to come back. But Wakaunda felt at that time it wasn't ripe, so we needed to be together as a country.
So was it working out at that time? You felt it wasn't
no, it didn't work out. Kaunda was a strong man. The preservation of public security visited my father and his colleagues quite a bit. They were arrested numerous times, and they were pushed to ends, sometimes accused of offenses they didn't commit. I didn't grow up with my father much. He was in and out of prison because of politics.
So has it changed since the time of UNIP up to where we are?
It changed under Bachiluba, under Bamwanawasa, under RB, and Basata, including to some extent under ECL, Edgar Chagolungu. Right now, we have more or less squeezed the political space because of the fears that the UPND have against opposition.
They have fears?
They have a lot of fears. I mean, we've got a man in State House who is afraid of his own shadow, and he's introduced a lot of laws which are fixing people. The freedom of speech that we enjoyed under the MMD, for instance, is not there now. This seditious practice. If you know anything about sedition laws, historically, they were meant to frighten, intimidate citizens, not to speak against the government or political figures. They cover that and make it seem like they're trying to promote unity. But in essence, they're sending a message. If you cross this line, we'll get you. So the cyber laws are meant to do that. The electronic acts which have come in, the president pretended to say he has removed the defamation of the president from the criminal side of things. But the seditious laws are more or less the same things. So you can't speak against the president openly as much as you want.
So you're a seasoned lawyer.
Yes.
What do you really think is wrong with these successive governments that have come in power in Zambia?
Well, I think for the particular government that we have now, my observation is they didn't have a plan. They were not ready, and especially their leader. He seems to have had this grandiose illusion that he was going to be in opposition for the rest of his life. So he wasn't ready. And when he won the elections, I think it was a surprise. It was a bigger surprise to him than you and I. Yeah, he didn't realize that the Zambians wanted change in 2021. So when power was given to him, he didn't know what to do with it. Hence the confusion we're faced up with economically, socially, politically, and otherwise.
Okay, we'll come to that now. You're joining politics.
Yes.
How was it?
I joined politics for the first time, having seen my father go in jail so many times. I almost said, I don't want to do politics. But when Bachiluba and the MMD began to push the agenda,
the second term,
I thought, okay, now is the time. I was a young lawyer at the time working for Chifumo Banda and Associates. And at our chambers then, we began to receive visitations from Bachiluba, late Christian Tembo, Brigadier General Mianda, Bodwin Kumbula, Kashambatwa, Bikustelewanika, and the rest. Benny Mwinga, Joshua Lumina, to name but a few. Those were prominent people that I used to see. Humphrey Mlemba, and they used to consult us as lawyers then and still So we began to join the legal team of the MMD. Then obviously we were learning from the ropes and the elbows of State Council Eric Silwamba, State Council Vincent Malambo at the time, State Council Bonaventure Mutale. Those were the peers we were with in the legal fraternity to help fight the UNIP government at the time and protect the members of the MMD who were being harassed by the regime at the time. So that's how I began now to see up close and personal and be in meetings to understand and learn what it is to change government, to plan strategically how to win elections, how to raise funds, how to meet people, how to interact. Ichalobateko Bushkubazulu.
Okay.
So there were a lot
What
of
happens, Osho?
midnight meetings. When you are sleeping, that's when we wake up.
Okay.
Just when you realize that we are not going to be attacking, Bwana, we are attacking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now your first day that today you've decided you'll be a politician. You'll be
It was then.
Okay, it was then.
It was then.
What happened at that particular night?
I think late Benny Mwinga, who was Mazabuka MP, was a very good friend of mine. And he was supposed to be kicked out of parliament. And we had to get an injunction for him.
Okay.
And he came to my home and said, Vadara, we might lose our seats with the Joshua Lumina, who was Chikankata MP. And I said, what's going on? He says, no, these are the issues. We have got intel and things. So I called my boss, State Council Chifumu Banda. This is what's happening. He says, you know what to do.